Hola, boa noite, the viewers of the tube. Once again, and maybe for the last time, I will be coming to you guys fully produced from the sunny and beautiful streets of Lisbon. Actually, a porch. Our European trip is coming to a close as I head back to America, which isn't a bad thing as I'll be able to put my best foot forward for the close of this bull market. So are you ready to close out your day with us? Well, you don't really have a choice because it's time for Chico Crypto. Talking about closes, Bitcoin decided to close off last weekend with a bang. Sunday night, the price exploded. From 63K, it jumped straight up to above 65K. And then over the last hours of Sunday and into Monday, it broke 66K and looked to be on the way to a new all-time high and 67K. This pamp and end of the week run was much needed if we are going to make it to Plan B's prediction for a November monthly close, which all of us should know by now is 98K. On Friday of last week, things weren't looking too hot for BTC as it dipped from above 62K, fell under 61K, and looked like it might break through 60K support. The price movements even prompted Plan B to tweet on Friday, November 5th. He said, "Some people think November close of 98K is too big of a jump. It is plus 60% from current levels. Yes, this is a big jump, but Bitcoin did this many times before, and showing examples of 60% monthly jumps throughout Bitcoin's history. Although the last time BTC did that big of a jump was back in May of 2019. So Plan B obviously still has that November pump of mental hopium in his eyes. But what's the reality of the situation so far? With November's current price movements, are we on track to hit his prediction near 100K? Well, we began November just below 61K, and as of Monday morning, November 8th, BTC was at about 66,500. We won't count the 8th because the day wasn't done when I shot this video. So in 7 days, we had a price gain of about $5,625. This means on average per day, the BTC price has been moving by about $804. We only have 23 days left in November, so if we multiplied that by the average daily movement of $804, this would give us $18,492 to add on throughout the rest of this month. That would only put us at about 85K, $13,000 away from Plan B's prediction. So no, even with the bullish pump on Sunday and into Monday, we aren't on track. And we will need some more big green candles like we saw on Sunday to get us there. But like Plan B said, you can't count out Bitcoin. It's done this before, and it can do it again. They don't call it the honey badger of money for nothing. So first, let's take a look at the bullish end of things, why BTC could reach that level by the end of the month. And this could be a reason for the Sunday pump. It comes down to one person, Elon Musk. During the weekend, the mad lad decided to go full on mad lad. He tweeted, "Much is made lately of unrealized gains being a means of tax avoidance. So I propose selling 10% of my Tesla stock. Do you support this?" And then he said, "I will abide by the results of this poll, whichever way it goes." And we can see the results said yes. Elon will abide by the results of this poll. He is selling 10% of his Tesla stock. Elon owns 193 million Tesla shares, representing 20.7% of total shares outstanding. That means Elon Musk owns just over 250 billion of Tesla stock, and 10% of that is obviously 25 billion plus. So what does this have to do with Bitcoin? Well, don't forget, back in February of this year, out of the blue, it was announced that Tesla had purchased 1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Tesla diversified its balance sheet. Could this be a signal that Elon was looking to diversify himself? Well, after he tweeted the poll, he tweeted this, like he was taking a gamble. Roll them dice, and a video of the song High Roller by the Crystal Method. So is Elon just rolling the dice by selling 10% of his stock, or will he be taking that money from the sale and be putting it into Bitcoin and digital assets? The big gamble. If that's the case, of course the markets would pump. If you don't remember, the announcement of the Tesla buy pumped Bitcoin by 17%, and it pushed it to new highs, setting the stage for the extremely bullish months of February, March, and April. Although we have to look at both sides of the coin and the possibility that it's not the case. There is a possibility we actually go down before we go back up. The Sunday pump actually formed the dreaded CME Gap, and a really big one at that. Now, if you take a look back in history, since the launch of CME Bitcoin futures in 2017, over 90% of CME gaps eventually get filled. That's a pretty significant number, but when Bitcoin is trending hard, they don't get filled. Even throughout this bull run and year, there are 4 CME bull gaps that still have yet to be filled. So I'm not going to be putting any money where CME mouths are. I'm sticking to the bull guns, and I believe that this gap is one that won't get filled. But don't put any of your money where my mouth is, as this is never financial advice. But now we are about to switch gears and jump back into Solana. As if you don't remember, just in September, on the 17th, I posted this video. Solana has bad news. Major SOL dump is near, where I showed how centralized the chain was and the consequences of that. And then literally the next day, their blockchain went down, and it was down for a good while, which resulted in a massive plunge of the token SOL. So, do I have good news or bad news for Solana? Well, it could be a bit of both. But before we get into that, it's time for a sponsored segment of this video, brought to you by our friends at Energi. And like always, the details of our arrangement can be found in the description. Now, the blockchain space is filled with VC-funded Layer 1 projects that talk a lot of talk but haven't brought much to the table. Well, there's a Layer 1 solution we're always happy to have back on the channel, and that's Energi. Energi is an Ethereum-friendly smart contract platform, fully EVM compatible and fully operational. They're creating a crypto, DeFi, and coming soon NFT ecosystem that is safer, easier, faster, and cheaper than everybody else. They talk the talk and they walk the walk. They have a team that has proved to build an ecosystem that directly benefits the community through their 4-pillar system, from which they've never been swayed from. They've introduced and offered industry-leading security measures and customer support unseen in the crypto space. This Layer 1 smart contract platform has working dApps like Energi Swap DEX, where users are making fast, cheap trades with access to everything Ethereum. And this is through their user-friendly Energi Bridge that's fully compatible with MetaMask, making for an easy and fast configuration. In fact, after this video, you'll have plenty of reason to go back and watch our previous segment in September, because I go through a demo on how to set up the Energi RPC, how to bridge available ETH and ERC20 tokens to Energi, and then we show you how to make a swap through the Energi Swap DEX. But make sure you follow the link in the description to their platform from this video. It's important because they just fulfilled a promise they made last time by launching their decentralized affiliate referral program, and it's multi-tiered. Users who introduce Energi Swap to their own network of people can potentially build a flow of exponentially growing passive rewards. You get a portion on the trades of your friends and all of their friends. Anyone who gets invited to use Energi Swap in your network, you earn rewards. And the rewards come in the token the trade was made with. Thus, over time, you can accrue a broad holding of tokens you've never even used before. You're not buying or signing up for anything, you're just watching people trade. This referral system is pure blockchain. This is trustless, it's permissionless, and runs completely decentralized through smart contracts. Everything is tracked, stored, and paid through the blockchain. It's the first time anything like this has been done before. And what's great is anyone who connects their wallet through a referral links gets a 10% saving on every trade they personally make. It's a win-win for everyone involved. Energi also fulfilled their other promise to bring an exciting yield farming opportunity to their community and just made the announcement that opportunity is now live this week. And you'll want to act fast because this first month they are offering increased rewards. So if you're interested in these opportunities, start by going back to my previous reviews of Energi, then jump into their website and Discord and get all plugged in. And this is a great project that just needs some awareness, and right now you can earn some rewards by making people aware. So remember to join that decentralized referral program, as everything Energi is below. Now it's time to get back to that Solana news. Is it good or bad? Well, it's a mixture of both, beginning with the price. After a very bullish week, pumping from 200 to 260, Solana started to dump when the markets were extremely bullish. What's the reason for the dump? Well, Fiscantes on Twitter explained it. Well, he said, Sol dumping on the news that the Breakpoint launch party abruptly ended at midnight, time when all the good parties are just warming up. So, Solana doesn't know how to party?
Hello, I'm Rico, and I like to party.
Yeah. That 'tis a joke, but the real reason was a highly popular Twitter post from a Justin Bonds, which accused Solana of some pretty nasty things. The thread started out like this. In early April 2020, the Solana team stated the total circulating supply was 8.2 million, when in reality the total circulating supply was above 20 million, marking the start of a long series of lies, fraud, and deception by Sol, which he dives into in the thread. Now, the basis of the thread is Solana wasn't honest about the circulating supply to their community and investors, and had a hidden wallet with nearly 13 million tokens. Now, I can't be the judge of the validity of the thread or what actually happened, but this is the reason for the Sol downtrend. Although, if it was true, you would think the Sol dump would be much harder, right? Well, there could be some really big news coming for Solana that's helping hold it up, as a Finance 1.5 giant could be building their crypto platform on the Solana blockchain. So, just a few weeks back, it was announced that Circle and Solana were partnering to bring USDC to the Solana blockchain. This was on the heels of the Center Consortium, of which Circle is a part of, announcing that Solana would be an official chain for USDC. It was all about USDC and Solana, and this news came October 23rd. Guess what happened just a week later? November 1st, PayPal tweeted something very telling. Their official account tweeted, "Stay tuned for a big surprise," with a series of emojis: dollar bills, big eyes, dollar bills, big eyes, dollar bills, big eyes. And you could take it just as that, dollar bills and big eyes, but you could also look at it like this. The dollar bills represent USD, and the big eyes represent C, aka USDC. So why Solana and PayPal and not PayPal and Ethereum or another blockchain that transacts USDC? Well, Dan Schulman, the CEO of PayPal, was interviewed back in March of this year, was asked if PayPal would embrace Ethereum. This is what he said.
Will part of the process involve embracing Ethereum or another platform in addition to Bitcoin?
It very well could. Right now we accept, for trading purposes, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin. That'll expand going forward, but that's only, buy, sell, hold. When you look at the underlying technology, you want to make sure that it can be built for scale, that the transaction speed can handle, thousands of transactions a second. And so I think we need to look at any of the various underlying technologies. There are different chains that you could look at that have different capabilities, some with smart contracts, some, fit for payments.
So the PayPal CEO said they were examining other blockchains with higher transaction speeds who were more fit for payments. Kind of sounds like Solana, doesn't it? Now there is a bit more evidence that this PayPal USDC Solana rumor could be true. One of the original PayPal Mafia members, founder and their first CCO, David Sachs, was on a podcast where he revealed he was an early investor and held a big old bag of Sol.
Are you saying I got $1 billion of Solana?
So, does this mean I'm bullish on Solana? Fudge no. Decentralization will always win. This is just a centralized payment company, PayPal, going on a centralized blockchain, Solana. I'm just really good at predicting what's to come. Cheers. I'll see you next time.